Good morning, everybody. Just woke up down here in Alabama. You know, this is sort of a vain adventure here for me. But all is vanity. Everybody has a little bit in them. Anyway, I thought I'd bring some more stuff to you about this morning. I have to talk kind of low because they're in there. I don't want to wake them up or disturb them. But we're babysitting down here in Alabama. And we do a lot of that after you get 70 years old or after you retire. But I left off the other day with Huck Finn. I didn't tell you about how we'd go up there and get on the sandbar and jump out and cool off in the river. There'd be little cold spots in the heat of the summertime. And if you didn't have air conditioning, and we didn't have it a lot of our lives, you could get up there and find you a cold spot up there on the river before it warmed the water up. But and so some places up there on the Chattahoochee it could be, you know, in the Amazon for all you know. But anyway, some of these little videos, these little poems I have, are not as good as the others. They're kind of unfinished, but I thought I'd bring them all to you and see how you like them. My wife and I are coming up on 50 years here, January 18th, of wedded bliss. But you couldn't tell it the way we go after one another. But somehow we made it 50 years by the grace of God. And she, I was going to tell you a little story. I can't remember right now. Yeah, well, the thing is that we're opposites. And she says left, I say right. She says stop, I say go. It's just, you know, it's like that my whole life. We kind of go at one another lightheartedly. We hardly ever fuss, really, you know, but we made it 50 years through kids with cancer and every imaginable thing. We're still here after 50 years by the grace of God. And, oh yeah, check into that little video of Them Darn Ferns. That'll give you an idea how we go back and forth. But anyway, that's a little song I wrote, you know, because every summer come around, you'd have to go, we'd have to go, whether we had anything to eat or not, we had to get those ferns and get them hung up on that porch. And I'd get there and I'd try to get around and work around on the antenna or something, you know, and well, and I'd bang my head and I'd step on stuff, and they were always getting in the way, and that's how that little song came up. But it's them darn ferns, you know. I hope you can find it. Just type in on YouTube Them Darn Ferns and Doug White. It'll all come up. But I was thinking about this flat earth stuff. You know, people ought to just keep it simple. We don't know all the, you know, I see on the internet there'd be debate. Well, there's no debate about, you know, once God shows you, either it's from God or it's not from God. And there's really no debate about it that, you know, once you get, you know, an idea in your head, we can't be like, you know, he told Job to stretch out the line. He was telling him, you know, there's some things that are his business, you know. So they get on there on the internet, on the comment section, and they'll talk about all these stars aligning and this, that, and the other. Why they believe it's a sphere and stuff like that. Well, they're entitled to their opinion, you know, let them have it, you know. That's the way I look at it. But the way I look at it is all that stuff made out of God stuff. You know, they're not any moon rocks. It's God stuff. Whatever is up there on the moon is it's God. It's made out of God stuff. Personally, in my opinion, I think it's translucent because you can see stars through it, you know, and blue sky through it. So I look at it like it's made out of God stuff. That's the way it is with me, and I don't want to get on there and debate all these particulars of a subject. You know, I like some things to be, you know, God. You know, I like a big God, but and He is a big God, and He's not this God that everybody, you know, you know, I don't blame them for hating on the religious world of the day. They want you to think that's what Jesus is like, but that's not really what He's like. He's a God that's rich in mercy, not poor in mercy. He's got great love, you know, not little love. And so He's got a giant, great family out there. And some of them out there are mad with God, but they're not mad with God. They're mad with what they think is what we're shown on television on Sunday morning and stuff like that. And really, He's not anything like that. He's been watching this the whole time. And He has a particular love for a great multitude of people. How do you think that in Revelation, when John had that vision, how do you think there was a multitude that no man could number? Like Abraham said, like the sands by the seashore, the stars of the sky. It's because God is rich in mercy, and there's a whole lot of people around you every day that you don't realize are His own people, and they might not wear it on the sleeve, but they're His people, and they'll manifest some. It might be hard to see like people like me, but they'll manifest some kind of attribute of Christ in it. You know, you'll be able to, if you look hard, you might be able to see it. But they'll have a conscience, and they know it's wrong to steal, it's wrong to kill. They'll have this conscience. They'll fear God in some kind of way. I'm talking fast, so you have to listen fast. But they'll fear God in some kind of way. We don't do certain things because we fear God. See? We know that He's God. Like I think King Nebuchadnezzar, he had some pride in him, and he was the king. And Daniel kept doing all these miracles, but Nebuchadnezzar, he finally he had grazed with the cattle before he got his mind right. Say, God got his mind right. So God can get all these people. He's God. He's a sovereign God. He's ruling and reigning right this minute, up there above whatever the dome, the separation, the firmament, whatever it's made out of. Jesus is up above that. The Holy Spirit is here on earth, you know, going and making and gathering together the elect, you know, going and picking out His people. So that's what's going on now. He's in a far country. He's in a far country. And He'll come back someday, you know, I don't know when. You know, Paul and them were looking for Him. They've been looking. That's the state we're in now. He's but He must reign. See, He's reigning now. He must reign till He's put all His enemies under His footstool. So He's ruling and reigning right this minute. It might not look like it because of what the devil is doing, but the devil's on a short leash, and he can only do what, just like in the book of Job, he can only do what he has allowed to do. You know, Jesus, only time he spoke up when he was being tried was when one of the when I don't know which one it was, but they were He said, you wouldn't have any power over me if that weren't given to you of the Father. So, even he saw people out in the audience there that knew not what they were doing, say, when they were crucified. Some of those soldiers, I don't know, some of those soldiers, I'm talking fast, but some of those soldiers, they were his. Same thing with Stephen. He said, lay not this sin to their charge. So there were some of God's own people doing the devil's work, not even knowing it. And he said, lay not this sin to their charge. Stephen said that. Jesus said, they know not what they do. Father, forgive them, they know not what they do. So we got people out there that are God's own people that are hating on their brothers and sisters, that are his people. So, and we were all in that state at one time, so it's hard to be mad. Let's see. All these people in this flat earth community, they can't be going crazy all at one time. And that's why I think it's of God. And our best, the best thing to do is let people know by word of mouth. And the internet's a wonderful thing, They want you to think that the internet is just like a tabloid, and there's no truth. But actually, you can find truth on the internet if you search hard enough. Now, they flood it with misinformation and things like that, but you can find truth. And television is going out because if you look around, everybody's got their heads buried in one of these phones because it's more interesting to hear what other people have to say than that mindless stuff on television. So, let's see, what was I going to say? So the television is, to me, it's going out, and people look to the internet to find stuff that other people, it's more entertaining to look at people's lives than it is to watch television. I'm going to have to wind this up real quick here because I don't want to go over 15 minutes. But I'll talk to you on the next video. And God bless you.